Hello everyone, I am Hardish Kaur, Assistant Professor in Department of Mathematics, Government PG College, Ambala, Kent. Today I am going to discuss one of the important topics in Group and Ring for BSc 5th semester, which is ideal and quotient rings. These are the outlines of my today's work. Firstly, the definition of ideal with some examples. Then we will define some product and union of two ideals. And then the very important maximal and prime ideals with some examples. So first of all, what is an ideal? Let's consider a ring R and a non-empty subset of that ring, which we call S. Then S will be an ideal of the ring R if it is a right ideal as well as a left ideal of that ring. But when we say it is a right ideal, if it satisfies two properties, in the first property, if we consider any two elements A and B belonging to S, then S should be a subgroup with respect to addition. Means if AB belongs to S, then A minus B must belong to the set S. And for the second property, if we consider an element R belonging to ring R, then AR should belong to S for all the elements of A, for all the elements of S, and R belongs to R. If the set S satisfies these two properties, then we say S is a right ideal of the ring R. And if the first property remains the same, means AB belongs to S implies A minus B belongs to S. And for the second property, if we have RA belongs to S for all A belongings to S and R belongings to R, then we say S will be a left ideal. And if S is a left ideal and right ideal both, then we say S is a both-sided ideal, or simply we say S is ideal of the ring R. Now we consider some of the examples of ideal. So the first example is, let's consider a ring R and a fixed element of that ring. If we consider a set of all the elements of the ring for which x of A is equal to 0, then this will be a left ideal of the ring R. And if we consider the set of all the elements of x belongings to R for which Ax is equal to 0, then it will be a right ideal of R. We can prove it by using definition. If we consider the singleton zero set, then it's called a null ideal or zero ideal of the ring. And if we consider the ring itself, then it's called unit ideal of R. And the next example is, let's consider the ring of integers Z. Z is not an ideal of the ring of rational numbers, but in ring and subring we have proved that Z is a subring of the ring of rational numbers. So we can consider it as an example that a subring need not be an ideal. Here Z is a subring of the ring of rationals but not an ideal of the ring of rational numbers. And the next example, let's consider the ring of integers. But if we consider a set of multiples of M called MR, where R belongs to Z, then this will be an ideal of the ring Z for every integer M. Now we define some product and union of two ideals. Let's consider two ideals S1 and S2 of a ring R. Then their sum is defined as the collection of all the elements A1 plus A2, where A1 belongs to S1 and A2 belongs to S2. And this sum will be an ideal of ring R, which we will prove. And the product S1 and S2 is defined as the collection of all the combinations of the product of the form AI is BI, where AI belong to S1 and BI is belong to S2. The product of two ideals is again an ideal. But what about union of two ideals? If we consider two ideals S1 and S2, then their union need not be an ideal. It may or may not be an ideal, but the union will be an ideal of a ring R if and only if one of them is contained in the other. If and only if S1 is contained in S2 or S2 is contained in S1. Now we define maximal and prime ideals, and then we will consider some examples of maximal and prime ideals. First of all, we define a maximal ideal. Let us consider a ring R. An ideal S of the ring R is called a maximal ideal. Firstly, it should be a proper subset of the ring R, means S is not equal to R. And secondly, if there exists another ideal S1 containing S, then either S1 will be equal to R or S will be equal to R. This means to say there should not be any ideal between the ideal S and the ring R. If there exists some ideal, then either it will be equal to R or it will be equal to S. And the next definition is a prime ideal. Let us consider an ideal S of the ring R. S will be called a prime ideal if it satisfies some property, that is, if S1 and S2, product of S1 and S2 is contained in S, then either S1 is contained in S or S2 is contained in S. We can consider alternatively this definition as, if the product of two elements AB belongs to S, this implies either A belongs to S or B belongs to S. Here are some examples of maximal and prime ideals. The very first example, let's consider the ring of integers. Z be the ring of integers, then the collection of multiples of some integer m, mr, where r belongs to Z. Then this, we have already stated that this is an ideal. We can prove it by definition. But this set will be a prime ideal of the ring Z for every prime integer m. For example, 2Z, 3Z, 5Z, 7Z, all these sets are prime ideals of the ring of integers. Next, we take an example of maximal ideal. Let's consider a commutative ring of even integers. Then, the ideal generated by 4 means the collection of the multiples of 4. This will be a maximal ideal of R. But this will not be a maximal ideal of the ring of integers, because between the ideal generated by 4 and the ring of integers, there exists ideal generated by 2, the collection of multiples of 2. So this will not be a maximal ideal of ring of integers. And the next example, let us consider a ring of integers. Then singleton 0 is a prime ideal of Z, as Z is an integral domain. So the product of two elements is equal to 0 if either A is 0 or B is 0. Singleton 0 means the null ideal is a prime ideal of Z, but it will not be a maximal ideal of Z, because we can find out so many ideals between 0 and the ring of integers. So these are some examples of maximal and prime ideal. In further lectures, we will discuss some more results and some more theorems. So, thanks.